Hi guys, welcome to the channel. We're going to do a fun mystery card reading today. So I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled the cards and we will just see what comes out, and maybe there's a message for you. Go ahead and choose between pile 1, the Tiger's Eye, pile 2, Malachite, or 3, Angelite. Timestamps will be down below and I will see you at your pile. Hi, pile 1. As I was shuffling your cards for this pile, it was interesting because I was feeling this, there was like a carefulness to the shuffling, and I was actually feeling very discerning in choosing your cards. It's like I felt there was this overwhelming feeling of like, okay, choose wisely, choose wisely. And I was almost, it was weird. I was almost being very, very careful with your cards as I wanted to make sure the correct cards for this pile were coming out. And would you have it? Discernment came out. So this card says, the frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. So I'm feeling that perhaps if you chose this pile, you are feeling a sense of maybe there's some sort of choice you're having to make right now in your life, and I'm feeling a lot of you in this group are wanting to be very, very careful in making sure you choose the right choice. Like if you're thinking of moving, you want to do all of the work first and studying, you know, the pros and cons to certain places if you're moving, or for a lot of you, actually, if you chose this pile, there's like a new business venture, some sort of business opportunity, or a business partner you might be wanting to team up with. But I'm getting that this pile is probably a lot in their heads and they're just very curious. Like it's like I'm getting the feeling of you're doing the homework. You're really wanting to make sure you make the right move. You know, with the career, or in choosing a partner for something, or collaborating, something like that. But you got collaborate here also, and inspire. So that leads me to believe this is something sort of creative, maybe like a creative project you've been thinking of doing for a while, and initiating, and, you know, just starting. But you want to make sure all your ducks are in a row, so to speak. Like you're choosing the right people and the right departments to help with the right things. And then you got building your world, and that has creation, expansion, and networking. So this is all about, I feel like if you chose this pile, really wanting to make sure you have the right team, the right group, people set up for something, you know, like, I don't know, if you're thinking, even if it's just thinking of moving into a new place, you want to make sure you have all the right roommates to move into that house, to, you know, to build your community. But there's like a feeling of building here, and just a need to be really, really discerning. Yeah. But like with curiosity, I just see this group being really, really just wanting to make sure. I just keep hearing over and over, all my ducks are in a row, because maybe you don't want to make the same mistakes you've made in the past. 33 could be relevant to you. Number 6 could be relevant to you. The 6s are all about community and kind of a new normal. So I really get that you're on the precipice of some sort of change here, catapulting some sort of, like I said, you know, it's just going to be different for each person, but, you know, thinking about moving into a new community of like-minded people, or starting a great big new project. And just really needing to choose wisely, and really kind of taking your time to think it through and to make sure you have the correct team of people around you for something. But it's not like a feeling of like, oh, it's something that has to be done or anything. It's like a feeling of, you know, this will give you a lot of joy and freedom if you get it just right. With inspire here, I'm getting the feeling that, and then we have creation too. This is something that could potentially really be fruitful and fun for you. You know, it's not like a do or die, like a must. It's not that kind of feeling. It's something like just, you know, it goes in line with like your dreams and your wants and your desires. And, you know, I'm getting a feeling of like, just community here, you know, like you know, moving, I don't know, this is just throwing something out there, but moving into like a tiny home village with a bunch of people that are all gonna contribute in some way, and like, you know, grow your own crops, and, you know, something that, you know, if you do it right now in these beginning steps, it's going to be very, very, it's gonna give you a sense of community and love and support and fun and that kind of thing. We also have the 26 here too, so that could be relevant to you. 8 could be relevant to you, but the 8s are all about speed and power and like communication. So yeah, you might be in the stages of just kind of, you know, talking to different people, seeing what your options are and stuff like that. But now what I want to do is just kind of get some tarot to clarify for pile 1. Let's get a card to clarify the building your world here. We have the King of Swords. Yeah, so there could be could have something to do with a male here, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, doesn't have to be, but really wanting to make sure you're being very logical about things, you know, logical, straightforward, truthful, and just, like I said, just very methodical in getting all your ducks in a row. Let's get a card here for discernment. That's the one I want. 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, you might have to be, I think a lot of you are really wanting to make sure you're juggling wisely your finances, and, you know, make sure you don't just throw a bunch of money into something if it's not going to work out. But it's a fine balance of like, okay, I know I only have this exact amount, you know, on the penny of things of funds that I want to put in. So you're having, it's a fine balance. It's like a feeling of wanting to really, really be exact and make the right decisions. Curiosity. Ace of Cups. So for a lot of you, I'm hearing this in, you know, as long as you take the proper steps right now, this could be very, very plentiful and fruitful in giving you those new relationships, like I said, with your soul tribe and finding your soul tribe. You might even, for some of you, if you're not already partnered up, find a new love in this. But I'm really getting, if you chose this pile, this is like a new venture, a sort of, you know, turning of the tides, and some big new chapter in your life. And this will lead you to finding the right people. So I hope something there resonated for you. I would love it if you would please like this video, and I will see you guys really, really soon. Bye. Hi, pile 2, if you chose the malachite stone. So what I'm getting for this pile is a lot of you have been in a time of total solitude, and I'm feeling a very sort of defensive vibe with this group, and then you did get defend down here. But yeah, I'm really feeling that if you were drawn to this pile, a lot of you have been in a time of just kind of, you know, maybe the past has been really rough with you in terms of relationships, and maybe not just only romantic, but friendships too, and work. I'm getting kind of like across the board, and you've sort of lost your trust in humanity and people and that kind of thing. So it's interesting because you got 2 9s here, and the 9s are all about independence and solitude. And you know, you could be a person that's just like kind of given up on people, maybe given up on relationships. And I'm really getting from this group, you may have been hurt a lot in the past by people, especially relationships. And so there's this feeling of just kind of hunkering down, and there's been a long period, a long time of just kind of giving up in that, in putting your trust in people, and kind of believing that there's good people still left out there. And maybe you are an empath, and maybe you're a person that's just one of those people that says, you know, like, oh, forget it, I can't stand humans, I just want to go live on an island with animals because I can trust animals, you know, because an animal will never like actually emotionally hurt you, you know, an animal is all about true love and compassion. And I think this is a very, very sensitive group. You might have the ability to really communicate with animals, and there's just this feeling of kind of blocking humans off because you've been so let down too many times, and so hurt by them that, you know, maybe you just are, you know, thinking, oh, I'm just gonna have cats or dogs, and, you know, just kind of block everyone else out. But there is, and then we have black tourmaline here with regeneration, and black tourmaline is a very protective stone. So I definitely am getting for this pile that you've kind of just shut yourself off to something. You know, you've kind of just, there's a feeling of giving up here. But then you got believe, and there's this overwhelming feeling of it's not over for you here. So, you know, somebody needs to hear that. I think Spirit is wanting to tell you it's time now to come back out of your shell. That after this long period of kind of believing, you know, oh, forget it, there's no one out there for me, there's no one that will quite understand me, that Spirit is actually urging you to kind of rethink that. And I think you are on the verge of a whole new chapter. Allowance here says the frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. And then that's right next to regeneration. So I really am feeling for this pile that it's time now for you, and maybe not just with people, but in something. If you've just gone into a mode of hibernation, and you know that this pertains to you, I'm speaking directly to you. It's time now to kind of start to slowly allow and have trust and faith in humanity again, because you will find your soul tribe. And I do really truly believe that with this pile, because after all these cards came out, this one kind of was the last one to fly out, right as I was actually thinking along those lines for you guys. So, and we have the cute little animal here. So yeah, I really feel like this is my group of kind of like really sensitive, tender, loving empaths, you know. But yeah, I'm just kind of, I keep hearing like, let the walls down, let the walls down. And for each of you, like I said, that will be different, but maybe it's time now. You've done enough healing, you've done enough solitude, kind of alone hermit time, to slowly and gently start letting those walls down, because I think there's going to be a lot of magic that comes through for this group when you do. So now what I want to do is just get a couple tarot cards to kind of clarify. Let's see, I want to clarify generation for pile 2. Yep, that's the one I want. And we have the 3 of Pentacles, and that is all about community. That's all about collaboration and teamwork, and finding the right people that you do want to move forward and collaborate with. So that just tells me that we are on the right track here with this message, that there is definitely your right people that are waiting, kind of like, you know, in the sidelines here for you, in the curtains, so to speak. But you've got to start actually, you know, trusting the universe a little bit and coming out of your shell. I want to clarify allowance. 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands can be a very, very defensive card, all about kind of just putting your defenses up, and it can be little arguments, and, you know, it's a bit of a nasty card in terms of dealing with other people. So yeah, I definitely am getting for this group that, you know, the universe is now saying to you, okay, it's time to kind of put down those sticks, you know, stop fighting it, stop trying to, you know, not everyone out there is, because you've had such a hard past, and maybe you have had a lot of trials and tribulations and arguments and just battles with humans, that doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to be that way. And I know it's really hard to remind ourselves of that when that's all we've ever maybe experienced, or the majority of what we've ever experienced. But it's time to really just, you know, put those guards down and give it another shot. tenderness. I want to clarify tenderness, please. We have 3 cards that just came out, so I'm going to take them all. Okay, we have the Fool, we have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Star. The Star is all about healing, you guys. This is all about having faith, and just, yeah, I'm really getting, this is like a very destiny type card. So I am really getting that it is time. You have healed. It's time now to come out and have faith. We have the Fool. This is all about taking a risk. This is taking a huge leap of faith, taking a risk, and it's just really cool how these cards are clarifying everything I'm saying. And yeah, I just take that leap of faith. It's time now to come out. The sun's shining, like you've hibernated enough. You've kind of, you know, okay, you've had your time of feeling like you can't trust people and being pessimistic and all of that, but now it's time to really just take that leap of faith, step out, try something new, try something you've never tried before, and have that courage. And the Page of Pentacles is all about, you know, new experiences and just dipping your toe in, so to speak, and you know, trying new things. Again, trying new things, like take that class. You know, it's a student in the 3D. It's someone who's out there learning new things, trying new things. You know, take that class if you've really thought about, yeah, I really would like to take up archery or whatever, you know, whatever it is for different people. But yeah, I really love that. Actually, I really like this message. I'm resonating with it a lot. And so I hope something for you here resonated. You can comment down below, and please like this video, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye. Hi, pile 3. If you chose this pile, I'm kind of just looking at your cards. I am feeling that a lot of you, if you chose this group, have had a very sort of, I guess, an unorthodox life. So maybe some of you have had just one of those lives where it's like you could kind of like write a screenplay about it, because it just hasn't quite been, you know, I guess normal, however you want to define that. But there's this feeling here with perseverance that you've really had to go through a lot of just maybe crazy, your life has taken a lot of really odd and weird turns. It's really that feeling of like, if you did ever decide to sit down and write about your life, you know, it would really interest people, because I'm hearing off the beaten path, and you've had to really endure a lot of perhaps very, very difficult circumstances, and challenging to say the least, and probably entertaining. I'm getting a feeling of, with this group, very entertaining. Like I want to hear your story. Your story should be told. And you have death and rebirth, and I have a feeling this group has had to do a lot of transformation, has had a lot of like kind of I'm getting tower moment card, tower moments type thing with this group. You know, a lot of death card, a lot of transformation, a lot of tower moments, and you've had to really learn how to navigate huge kind of tower moments in your life. And perhaps you've had a spiritual awakening, and you've had to really learn how to ground yourself and just be that super, you know, for a lot of you, I'm hearing like you've had spiritual gifts come out because you've had such a bizarre and unorthodox journey, and you have magic. So this card says, the frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, to move toward possibilities and expressions that are as grand and profound as we can imagine. All that is required is our belief in their manifestation. So I do believe that this group, because of your journey and your very unique path, you now are kind of realizing and coming into understanding that you have the ability to, you know, I'm hearing for a lot of you, maybe you can heal with your hands, you know, you have a gift of Reiki, or the gift of feeling energy through the cards, or, you know, maybe some of you are mediums or what have you. But this is a very, this is like my spiritual group, very, very magical if you chose this pile. And maybe some of you watching aren't even really aware of that. So, you know, some of you I'm hearing saying, well, no, I'm not psychic, or no, I don't have it, you know, but I actually really do think you do. And it just, you're not fully aware of it yet. But yeah, and then you do have touching earth, planting something new. So I think you're in a time of learning how to ground that. Like a lot of you are coming into this awareness right now of knowing there's something different and unique about you, and you maybe do have some sort of spiritual gift, and you're learning how to ground. You're learning how to kind of ground all that energy that you haven't known what to do with it in the past. And maybe for a lot of you, that sort of spiritual gift, whatever you have, has transpired and come out as like anxiety. I'm hearing for some of you, like panic attacks in the past, because you didn't really quite know what was going on. But you know, Spirit was saying like, this is a gift we're bestowing upon you. And in the past, you might have been having to deal with just like surviving. And so you didn't think anything of it. You just thought, oh, I just have severe panic attacks, and you haven't really known how to hone it, like use, you know, you haven't had the awareness to know this was actually like a gift coming out in you. And so it's transpired into anxiety. But I think a lot of you are now realizing like, oh, all along I've actually had this gift. And I think a lot of you are learning how to balance it, but you know, there's just like this death and rebirth, and then we have this. It's like you know what I get with this group? The word integration. You're learning how to integrate the darkness and the light in order to create and manifest. So I think a lot of you are powerful manifestors. Like I'm feeling like the magician card in this group, you know, high priestess card vibes, that kind of thing. But I think you guys have the, sorry, that's my dog. He's sneezing. Are you sneezing? He's so cute. Yeah, like you have the ability to do something really, really magical and unique and different if you chose this group. But yeah, use, you know, like intention. That's like very magician card. It's like, I'm getting the feeling that this pile is in the process right now of learning how to use all this extra kind of unique power that you have. And now you're learning like, oh wow, it wasn't actually fill in the blank, depression, anxiety, or whatever. Maybe, sure, there is a touch of that, but what this really is all about is this extra kind of sixth sense that I have, this magical kind of gift I have in order to help humanity. And now you might just now be learning how to like navigate those waters and learn how to bring that out in a positive way. So now what I want to do is just kind of get, let's clarify with the tarot. I want to clarify perseverance for pile 3. Yeah, you have the moon. So yeah, they're definitely, this is a very, very, very psychic. You know, the moon is affiliated with our psychic abilities and our emotions and sort of like those psychic gifts. And so I think in persevering all of, you know, the garbage of like the 3D world, you really, really are coming into a time of learning how to use the gifts of the moon. And maybe a lot of you work with the moon or thinking of you know, different, I'm really getting for this pile, a lot of you watching are connected to the moon. A lot of you are divine feminines, kind of, that kind of thing. I want to clarify magic. It's a very, very psychic pile. We have the 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups is all about love and relationships. I am really, really digging this pile. This is, you know, this is a very, very loving and healing pile. And I really, really do think that this pile has the ability to definitely heal and really connect with other human beings in a way that I guess just, you know, your average person can't. But this is a highly, highly spiritual pile of, I just, you know, it's just very loving, very giving, very, I think this is a very spiritually talented group of people, if you were drawn to this pile. Clarify death and rebirth, please. I want that one. 5 of Swords. Yeah, I think a lot of you have had to deal, like I said, with just so much garbage. You know, the Five of Swords is kind of about people wanting to win at all costs. And it's a bit of a nasty card. And I think you've had to overcome a lot of sort of trials and tribulations in your life. But you're learning how to balance that. Like I said, you're learning how to balance the darkness and the light. And you're kind of taking now, you're in the season of life of taking what has hurt you so much, and you have that ability now to really understand other humans, like on not just because we read you know, our books in psychology class, but you actually have the actual ability, you have that wisdom because you have that life, you have the life experience to actually really empathize with other people and really heal. So that's all I have for you, pile 3. If something resonated for you, I would love it if you would like this video, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye.